Hi, everybody. It's Julie Skolnick from With Understanding Comes Calm. Welcome to the Gifted and Distractible vlog. Today, I want to talk to you about something really important, which is how to gain self-love. This is for you as a 2E adult, for you as a parent of 2E children, for you as a teacher of 2E children. And so how do we get self-love? Well, there are actually a couple of steps that I like to think about, which include self-awareness, self-acceptance, and then we gain self-love. So if you are a business owner or have ever been involved in business, or if you're ever just trying to accomplish something, the greatest way to do so is by developing a plan or a business plan, right? We identify goals and action items and measurables and how to get those things done and how do we know when we get there. So in business, let's say 9 years ago when I started With Understanding Comes Calm, I decided I wanted to write a blog a month. And then that turned into a newsletter. And so what my goal was, a monthly newsletter. And so what were my action items? Well, I had to think about and brainstorm topics. I had to write. I needed to find somebody who would pre-read or edit them for me. And then I had to find a platform, right? These were all my action items for creating a blog, and the blog was my goal. Well, your goal is finding self-love, and your action items are self-awareness, self-acceptance to lead to self-love. So what does this mean as a 2E adult or as a 2E teacher helping 2E children, wanting to help 2E children find self-love? What a wonderful goal for next year's school year is to help your students find and grow self-love. That is such a meaningful goal. Same for parents, same for 2E adults. So first we need to understand what are the things that either matter a lot to us or are particularly challenging. And my suggestion to you is to go through the 5 overexcitabilities: intellectual, emotional, imaginational, sensual or sensory, and psychomotor. And those are probably going to lead you to things that matter or things that are hard. So for instance, intellectual overexcitability, you might be really needing to learn, and it's very frustrating when other people take a long time, or when you have to explain stuff to them, or whatever that situation is intellectually, or that you're bored a lot of the time. Emotionally, maybe it just really stinks when friends don't reciprocate in the way that you do. They don't make the same effort that you do, and maybe that affects you in a really big, bad way. Maybe sensorially, you derive great pleasure from certain things and great pain from certain things. Noises and lights and textures, smells, all of those things. So they may affect you in a way that is positive or negative. Okay, so with that in mind, now we have self-awareness. Now we are aware. This is how we gain self-awareness. What are the things that give us great pleasure or great pain, or what give our children great pleasure or great pain? Then we need to accept who we are. So sometimes that's hard, but that's who you are. And guess what? Those overexcitabilities, the behaviors based on overexcitabilities, that's physiological, that's neurological. You're not really going to change that about you. So you have to accept that's who you are. And then you need to think about like what matters. So in your business plan for life, to go toward the goal of self-love, you have to recognize who you are and then why you are, accept that, and move into the space of loving yourself. And the way you love yourself is by saying to yourself, how do I move forward without regrets? How do I keep my perspective and my needs fiercely in front of me and intact? And how do I stay present with those needs, but at the same time think about what also matters to me, like relationships, or being able to communicate in a way that's useful, or avoiding certain things that occur based on situations that either give me great pleasure or pain. So once you have this ability to recognize who you are, your authentic self, and then to understand and accept who you are, then you can move into that space of self-love because you're addressing your authentic self. Think about your goals and think about how to get there based on who you are. And I sincerely hope that this helps you find self-love and that you can do this with yourself, with your children, and with your students. Thanks for listening.